tweet. People have been tweeting this. This is Johnny 8-Ball.
Okay.
He tweeted back.
That's a really nice Twitter name.
It's a great Twitter name. And it's got the picture of Johnny telling the Washington Redskins they're number one.
Right.
But he has a good tweet, and I wanted to read it. He goes, "The hardest thing for a team to learn is how to finish people off."
I agree.
We talked about that a little
That's
bit.
That's the 27th out.
Yes.
You brought it up earlier.
Yes, and he's absolutely right. And I think that was the difference in the Ravens and the Browns. And even talking to Calvin Johnson in Baltimore, when he came right out and he goes, "Well, these are the type of games that we win." You know, in our city, we don't have a comfort with being in those type of games because we just go back with how we have failed in the past.
Well, that's our history.
Yeah, and I think that's in the locker room, though, too. How many Browns players have, been in those situations and go, you know what, we're all right. We're going to make a – Joe Hayden's going to stop Steve Smith. Brian Hoyer's going to hit this guy, or we're going to run the clock out. Where in Baltimore, it's embedded in them that – and in Pittsburgh, I can go to many cities. They go, all right, tough game. Our guy's going to – Flacco's going to come up with a big play. Ray Rice is going to come up with whomever. When does that change in Cleveland? Is it?
I felt like that was coming last week. I mean, look, you talk to Carlos Dansby, you talk to Dante Whitner, you talk to these guys after the game, and again, you build that momentum. One play yesterday.
Yeah.
That's it. One play changes everything between, and I'm not trying to be crude on this, between taking an Imodium AD and not having to take an Imodium AD. Yeah. And that's exactly where they are at this point.
They are. And I think at some points we can look at everything that's wrong, but you do need a player at some point in time that pulls you up by the jock strap and says, no, we're going to win. And I don't think they're there yet. And that's the frustrating thing for me.
All right, let's take Tubby Dog on Skype.
Yeah, get to my man Tubby.
All right, Tubbs, what do you got for us this morning, Tubbs?
Hey, what's up?
You are. What's up? What do you got for us on the game?
We'll get
it was just, you know what? I didn't even go to the game yesterday. I stayed home because of the weather, because my kids were kind of,
Oh, it was gorgeous yesterday, Tubby.
Huh?
It was unbelievably nice during the game yesterday. It didn't start raining until afterwards.
It was windy.
Well, you're welcome. I stayed home so that it could be a nice fucking day. So there you go.
Go ahead, Tubby. Give it to us. I needed you, man. I was looking forward to talking to you this morning.
You know what? It's just some bullshit. I mean, I said it was going to happen at the beginning of the year. I said we're going to get 4, maybe 5 wins if we're lucky. We're going to be close in games. Sometimes the ball will bounce our way and we'll win the game. We'll lose a couple of games due to coaching mistakes. We'll lose a couple of games because somebody busted open a big play. And then other times we'll just get our asses kicked. And yesterday was a coaching mistake. I lay it at the coaches. I mean, they just weren't prepared. They didn't have it, And Joe Hayden, he did all right, but the one play he got busted for, he got picked. Like it was like a basketball pick. It was the old pick and roll play. And Joe's a little dude. He just got pushed out of the way and was like 5-10 yards off the guy and couldn't recover.
They got to communicate better on that play. We talked about that last night with Matt. They do. The big play, though, where he loses, and it's easy for everybody to see, is the play against Steve Smith. You have to make that play. And it's not about the contract. It's just simply that's your guy. You got to cover him. And I think that's the frustrating thing for everybody, because I think most of us by Wednesday will say, hey, Joe's a good player. But it's easy right now to be kind of peed off at Joe because he didn't make that play.
Here's the question.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not laying it all at Joe's feet.
I mean, there was contract in the offseason, Tubby.
That was just one example. I mean, there was like little shit here and there. But the difference between this team and the teams that I've watched before, I honestly thought right up until the final seconds of that game, we had a chance to win the game. Yeah. That's different.
And that's
all the other teams I've watched in the years past, I was like, okay, when are we going to fuck it up? When are we going to blow it? When does the shitstorm start? It's coming. And it didn't. I mean, I honestly thought we had a chance to win that all the way up to the end. I thought their kicker was going to blow the kick and we ended up winning it, So
yeah, but that would mean the football gods are looking down on this team, and they haven't been since '99. Tubby, thank you. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you, Tubbs.
Take care, Tubbs.
All right, we'll talk to you soon.
But you know what? You make your own chances in football, in life.
I agree.
And you're right. Football gods haven't always looked down well upon us.
Just once, I want to see the other team miss the kick at the end of the game.
They do miss them.
Not against the Browns.
Yesterday. Well,
against the Browns.
Well, that goes back to us.
You know what I want to see? I want to see the football gods call the holding play on the big catch.
There wasn't.
We didn't see that. Football gods would have said that. A team with respect at home would have had that call.
But why would you respect the Browns at home?
You don't. You don't respect them at all. That's the thing. If it's the other way around, games are so tight. that it's an official who would have had the guts to throw the flag on the holding call, because we all saw it.
We all did see
But
it.
then we see it,
But see, I hate blaming it on a referee.
I'm not blaming it on the referee.
I know, but
I'm not.
and I get what you're saying. The referees, you know they're going to screw up. You know they're going to miss calls. It's what they do.
Okay.
And they called a lot of penalties on the Browns, too. They about 12 of them.
Hey, Eric, are we going to the casino right now? What are we doing here?
We're going
what
to
do we need to
casino?
do here? You tell me.
You just need to say hello to Paul Bates.
Hi, Paul Bates.
I want to play blackjack.
Am I calling him up on the air on the radio, too? Hi, Paul Bates. How are you? Can you hear me? Hi, Paul.
Alan Bates it is.
Oh,
What's up,
Alan
Al?
Bates. I'll blame
Alan.
Eric, the referee, on that.
What's up, brother?
All right, Alan, first of all, what slot machine are you playing
Eric's
there?
fault for that one, too. Huh?
It's
better
all on
flag
Eric.
on it.
All right, how you doing on Lord of the
I'm
Rings
playing
there?
the Lord of the Rings. I was doing pretty well till the cameras came up. Then they started taking my money.
Oh, we made it go cold on you? We made the machine go
Y'all
cold?
pretty much did.
Oh, man. Hey, what'd you think of the game?
It's that whole Brown aura, you know.
The
It
gods.
was a great game, except we need a field goal kicker and a couple of more defensive backs.
Yeah,
pretty much.
well, what about the run defense, though, at the same time?
What run defense? I thought that's what Whitner and Darby was here for. I mean, they used to be beasts. I don't know what happened to them.
All right, let me ask you our two questions we're asking this morning.
I
One,
thought Whitner was here to help support the run game. I ain't seen him in too many tackles.
I'm with you, brother.
All right, let me ask you two questions. Who are you blaming for the Browns' loss? Straight out.
Coaching,
Coaching.
the way they played with that ball near the end of the game, the points they left on the table, not putting that man out wide enough to block that guy coming off the edge. All he had to do is move out about another foot, and he might have kept that half a second and got that field goal.
Last question for you, Alan.
There's a lot of simple things they could have done.
Yes.
How optimistic are you about this team moving forward?
The offense looked good. The defense can't get to the quarterback like it should. With all them players they brought in, I haven't seen them doing anything spectacular yet.
I'm with Alan. That's the most disappointing thing about the team.
For as much money
The
as
much
offense
money-
looked a lot better.
Yes.
All right, Alan, thank you. We appreciate
But
it.
the
Go get-
defense is not there yet.
Yeah.
Tell Paul, who's the camera guy, to give you a couple bucks for for putting you on the cold streak. That's weak.
I say, tell the camera guy, give me a couple of bucks for putting me on the cold streak.
All right, we'll see you later. Thank you, Alan. Thank you.
Well, the Browns been.
All right, we're
Hey,
good.
before we go to Craig,
Yes.
Alan may have hit on the biggest issue I think the Browns have.
He's not hitting on that slot machine,
No,
I'll tell you
but
that.
he just hit on something that I think should be a concern that we haven't even discussed in an hour.
How much money's in the defense?
You brought a defensive coach in here, a defensive wizard, who's brought his best friend in to be the defensive coordinator. You've got Dansby money, Whitner money, Hayden money, Gilbert money. I talk about Rubin money, Phil Taylor money. I would say most of the money on this team lies in about 12 to 13 guys that play defense. They're not better on defense. They may be worse. If you are the owner of the team, what bothers you more? That Johnny Manziel's running illegal plays and he can't get on the field? Or that you've paid all this money for this defense and it stinks?
Let
It
me ask
stinks.
you this. Would you say this defense stinks today if they would have won yesterday?
Yes. You
would.
know I would.
I know
Giving
you
up 160 yards rushing every week, getting gashed. Yes, that's not good. Say what you will about the defensive coordinator from last year, Horton. They had issues, but they stopped the run.
I was good with him. He could have stayed
I
as far as
know.
All right, we're going to go to Craig in 2 seconds here. I just want to take a couple phone calls because some folks have been hanging on the line. Hi, Betty. How are you?
Well, hello there.
Good morning.
What's up, Betty?
Good
Sunshine. Life is good for you?
3rd and 7. We blew it. Couldn't pick up that. I couldn't believe that. And our field goal kicker, two kicks that we didn't make it. Game should have been won by 27 points.
They should have been up. I don't know about 27, but they
So
should
we
have been
should
up.
be, yeah, 27. The 2 kicks that we missed.
Are you blaming the kicker for both of those?
Well, if you would have had me out there, I think I would have done the same thing.
Even on a bad snap, you would have been able to correct that, right? You would have been good with that. Even with Billy Wynn letting you down, you would have been able to get that in, right?
That close, yeah.
Oh, well,
Oh,
okay.
that close. I love it.
Oh, Betty. So who are you blaming for the loss?
Myself.
There you
because
go.
I turned away to watch the Indians.
Hey, well, you brought an Indians win, so it's all right, Betty.
Nice job.
Yes,
Betty, we
I
need a
did.
sweep,
7-2.
Kansas City.
We need
Thank
to
you,
sweep.
Betty.
Take
Appreciate
care,
it.
Betty.
But I got to wait 13 more days to call you guys.
You can call Andre.
I'll give you his number after the show. You can call him all day, all
You can
night.
call Andre, too. We got plenty of radio time.
You
that
can
we
call him
talk
at
to you.
216-578-0923. Is that what yours is?
Close, 0092.
0092.
What's yours?
216-578-1100. You can get me there.
Do you have to say that, by the way? I noticed that everybody
We've
says,
got.
thanks, Betty.
Let's talk about this. You know, your Grand Poobah, as you call
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
Yeah. When you first get there, they
Yeah.
write out how they want you to say the call letters.
Yeah.
And just like in the Howard Stern movie, if you remember the Howard Stern movie,
yeah.
like they don't write.
W-E-E-D-C,
Yes, they
yeah.
actually have a write out where it says 11 is spelled with an E.
What? All right, well, what are we doing here, Eric? Let's go. Are we going Craig Lindell then?
Yes,
All right, Craig Lindell waiting for next year. Hi, Craig. I guess we're running late today.
I'll punch him.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good. Who are you pointing the finger at for yesterday's loss?
It's pretty easy. And everybody's talking about Joe Hayden, and it's easy to see when somebody catches a pass when Joe Hayden's guarding them. But the key number for me is the Browns had 0 sacks yesterday, and this defense is predicated on getting to the quarterback and forcing him to make mistakes. And the one time, it felt like the only time they got to him yesterday, he threw an interception. Yep. So go ahead and point at Joe Hayden. He does need to be better. But for me, it's this defensive coach and his pass rush that's not working right now.
I'm with you, Craig. Also, the problems on the goal line, those are just things that they don't happen in high school games. They don't happen in college games. That is a elementary problem that you cannot have in the NFL.
But let's give some credit to Kyle Shanahan. Didn't you guys think he called a great game yesterday?
3 great quarters, yes.
Yeah, except for the last 2 drives, yes. I don't
Well,
know
and
what
even
they were
then, don't
thinking.
you think the head coach is kind of guiding some of the level of aggressiveness there?
Craig, that's a great question, and I don't think anyone really knows because I think that's the issue with the Browns. Your highest standing offensive guy is is Shanahan. I hope Pettine isn't saying that or doing that, but who knows? All right, let me ask Andy.
But no, he's made it pretty clear that he's letting his coaches coach.
He's letting those guys coach. But even defensively, you asked me last night, who do you think's calling the goal line defense? He's running into the same problem Shermer ran into when he wouldn't tell us who was calling plays.
Right.
Defensively, the same problem is existing with this Browns team. Same problem.
Craig, let me ask you this too, because we're going to get moving here. Are you still optimistic about this team?
Yes, I think this team is better than it was last year, and they're better than they were the year before. I think that if they can clean up some of these simple coaching errors, and they can use they've got the personnel to get to the quarterback. They've got them. I will not believe that Reuben, Taylor, Bryant, and all those guys cannot get to the quarterback. They can, and so for me, there's no reason to think that they shouldn't be able to clean it up over the next week.
Has Barkevius Mingo hit a quarterback yet?
Who's Barkevius Mingo?
Good point.
I thought that yesterday too.
Seriously, I'm not going to call him a bust yet, but he's not been a great player so far.
That's not what you expect for drafting somebody that high.
And teams attack him. Yeah. Teams do run at him. Teams go. They scored a touchdown running at him yesterday. The fullback wide open yesterday was Mingo's guy. He's got to be better, and he's pretty much gotten an easy pass so far.
Hey,
no one knows
Andre.
Yes.
Do you think it's physical, or do you think it's upstairs with Mingo? Do you think he can just learn better?
I think it's a little bit of both, Craig. I think that's a great point, but I think his body type is tough for this division. I think in other divisions that body type would work. This division, they're going to attack a smaller guy. I think he's got to get bigger.
Craig, what's going on waitingfornextyear.com right now? What do you got up?
Well, I'm going to plug the podcast, the waitingfornextyear.com podcast. Unlike the Bone Lady, I don't have any sponsors. I need some Yingling money for that podcast.
Yingling, bro.
Man.
Maybe some implants in Yingling, and you'll be good to go.
Stop it,
what?
Eric Jr.
No,
yeah, all you need to do is turn on Eric, and then I know I have
What are
to
you
cheat my
talking about,
goals.
man? We were talking about she had a bad tooth when she was 14.
I didn't know that she had those.
Wow, where is your mind,
Well,
man?
when you say implants, I think.
What?
What?
That's you,
No,
Eric.
that's
Oh, man, I can't believe I
Sorry, Craig.
It's a family show. Not really. All right, Craig, thank you. We'll make sure we read you at waitingfornextyear.com. Looking forward to your podcast.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. All right, quick, Walter in Brunswick, so we can set up the grade the team here for you, Eric. Do a little work over there, will you, please? Tim Couch coming back up. Kenny wrote in about 2 seconds here. Walter, how are you?
Hey, good. How you guys doing?
Good. What do you got for us?
Just a few things. I mean, I've been listening. I'll let you guys go ahead and talk here. Just say a few things. I think just like he just said, the whole not getting to the quarterback. I mean, you can't let a quarterback, especially Flacco or Breeze or any of those quarterbacks, have all day to throw At some point, someone's going to get open.
Yep.
But the two main things that I thought was just crazy was I just don't get all the penalties, and I also just you got to stay on your feet. If Gabriel scores on that play, the game's over.
Yeah, that's 2 weeks in a row we've had a receiver fall down on a deep play with nobody.
Seriously, think about that. If that's Josh Gordon or anybody average
the ball
or
hanging
above,
up in the
they're on
wind
their
and you
feet.
can't find your feet.
The ball was hanging up a little bit, and I think that's Hoyer doesn't have great arm strength, but keep your feet and run.
Yeah, but man, that DB was 20 yards behind him.
I know. Matt
It was a
Elam
great
had
route.
Matt
It
Elam
really
had
was.
a terrible game.
And just the only positive thing is that everyone's freaking out now because there's 2 weeks off and all that stuff. But if they're 2-2 going at home against Pittsburgh, everyone will forget about this. Even though it sucks.
Great point. And
Walter,
they've got a good
thank you.
chance to.
Appreciate
They've got a
it.
good chance to be 2-2. Play the Steelers
Right.
here at home. And then after that, the schedule plays into, what is it, Jacksonville, Tampa. You could run off a couple wins, and this morning won't feel so bad.
Maybe we learn a little bit. All right, so let's do this now. We bring Kenny Rhoda back in. Morning to you, Kenny. You're back.
Morning.
All right, and Tim Couch is back with us. Hi, Tim.
Hey, guys.
All right, Eric, the referee, you ready to do this? I'm ready. All right, grade the team. What do you want to do first, Eric?
All right, we'll start with the worst. Let's go special teams.
Special teams. We start with Mr. Kenny Rhoda.
I told you earlier on the mobile cast, I give him an F. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I don't want to hear about the win. Travis Benjamin, you're paid as a special teams guy. Catch the ball. Don't let it roll to the 7-yard line. Make your field goal. Snap the damn ball. Block the damn guy on the outside. Don't get a blocked field goal with the game on the line. They get an F.
Preach.
All right, I'm with you. I'll make it easy. I'll say it's an F2. You can't have problems like that on special teams. I call Chris Tabor nuclear because he's the only thing that can survive a nuclear war after going through 3 coaches. You do think that's funny, right?
It is funny.
Okay, you're not laughing very much.
Yeah, because I've heard the joke already.
Well, I'm starting to sound like Coach Sam, all right?
It's like New Year's Eve.
He can't see it in Times Square. Tim Couch, special teams.
I give it a D. I probably should have given it an F. I was just being nice, but it was awful. Any way you look at it, Kenny said it all, man. Two missed field goals, one of them were blocked. Not fielding the ball, it was just a disaster, and it was a big part in the loss, and it's something that they're going to have to get fixed up here in the bye week.
All right, Andre.
D minus. Kenny hit on it. You hit on it. Tim hit on it. You won't win football games when you play that way on special teams. They weren't special. They were just a bunch of guys out there.
Special teams should be like referees. We shouldn't really have to think about
Exactly.
them. Same
like
thing.
I said, when we're talking about the long snapper's name, not good. When we're talking about the wing guy that's supposed to be blocking, not good. Look in the mirror, Billy Wynn. You got to play better.
Does anyone have Ryan Pomperion's number? Where we call him tonight? Anybody? Nobody. All right, what do you got, Eric?